I am a huge procrastinator. There are times when I have to do something, but I'll be laying in bed on my phone and it's just too comfortable that it's like, man, I can't be asked to do what I need to do. So I delay it. Sometimes I don't do it at all. And I'm not the only one. I'm sure if you're watching this video, you procrastinate often. Maybe you don't procrastinate often, but you've procrastinated before. Procrastinating is a very, very, very common thing. But it's like, why do we procrastinate? I know I need to do this thing. I even to some extent want me to want to do this thing, but I just can't do it. It's too difficult. I just can't. So the question is, why do we procrastinate? So put simply, the definition of procrastination is delaying something. People think that procrastination is a time management issue, not being able to manage your time. But that's not what it is. Many renowned psychologists around the world have found that procrastination happens due to negative emotions. The reason why we procrastinate is to avoid the discomfort, to avoid the negative emotions that our mind has associated with the task that we need to do. These negative emotions could be anxiety, boredom, stress. For example, you need to get some homework done, but the thought of doing homework, you begin to think, damn, how boring it must be. You begin to feel that negative emotion of boredom. Maybe you begin to feel anxiety because the homework is too big. Or maybe you begin to feel stressed because you don't know how to do it. You begin to feel a negative emotion due to the homework. Your mind associates the homework with that negative emotion. And not doing the homework prevents you from feeling that negative emotion. So you decide to not do it, because by not doing it, you avoid feeling the negative emotion. That's how procrastination works. Procrastination is a habit, and it's a habit that you do to prevent yourself from feeling the negative emotion that your mind has associated with the task. And because your mind is wired to avoid discomfort, it's just so much easier to say, I'll do it later. You know, that's a future me's problem. It's funny, right? As I was planning to make this video today, I quickly went downstairs, right? And I realized that I had forgotten to wash a pan that I used earlier in the day, right? And when I saw I hadn't washed the pan, I thought to myself, I'll do that later. The reason why I said that is because the thought of washing the pan just caused me to feel a lot of like boredom, right? It also caused me to feel stressed that I wouldn't have enough time in the day to record this video if I washed the pan. That's obviously not true, but that's what my brain began to feed me. So I thought, okay, it's so much easier to just not do it because I avoid feeling that negative emotion. And it's funny, it's hypocritical, right? Don't you think, for me to make this video while I'm a procrastinator myself? But procrastinating is a common human experience. We all do it because all of us have brains hardwired to seek comfort and avoid discomfort. And it's also funny, right, that like me personally, I find that the thought of doing the work is a whole lot worse than actually doing the work itself. Today, right, I had the plan of, recording videos and then editing. I thought I would be really bored, I associated boredom with the action, the work. I associated a bunch of negative emotions like anxiety because I would end up missing out on doing something better, like watching anime. That's because that was more comfortable. That's what my brain thinks. A few other emotions I was feeling, but when I actually started doing the work, today I have not been bored once working. So that's really funny to me, the way your brain works, right? Your brain over exaggerates how bad something normally is. I also used to find out with homework. So doing the work isn't actually that bad. It's getting started, because you have to fight the negative emotion that your brain has associated with the action. So to break procrastination, it's quite a simple answer. It's you have to break the habit of avoiding something when there's a negative emotion associated with it. It's not a pretty answer, but I mean that's literally what procrastination is. All it is delaying something because of that negative emotion associated with it. If you did not delay it, you would not be procrastinating. It's difficult, don't get me wrong, it's difficult. If it wasn't difficult, no one would be procrastinating. It's difficult, but that's what it is. And I think understanding that can really help you, beat the cycle. with time, you'll get better. So the ugly truth, the hard cold reality is that your personality impacts how much of a procrastinator you are. Some people are less inclined to procrastinate. Typically people who are more impulsive, people who are perfectionists, people who are emotionally unintelligent, people with these personality traits are more likely to procrastinate. But even if you have these personality traits, that doesn't mean you should let them define you. That doesn't mean you have to remain a procrastinator. You can still beat procrastination, but it just takes effort. It takes understanding yourself, and you need to unform the habit of procrastination. Now, talking about emotional intelligence, right? What is emotional intelligence? So to me at least, I feel like emotional intelligence is understanding the emotions you feel, feeling them and allowing them to be there, and not trying to get rid of them. And I guess it's just noticing the way you feel, right? So what I want you to do is the next time you sit down to do some work, right, I want you to notice the emotions you feel. It could be really anything: anxiety, boredom, stress, whatever emotion it is that you've associated with the activity. I want you to really notice how you feel before you do it. I then want you to do the action, and I want you to notice how you feel while doing the action. And then I want you to notice how you feel after. And this is literally what emotional intelligence is. And by practicing this, you practice and you get better at the skill of emotional intelligence. You learn to understand how you feel in certain situations, and you learn to do stuff despite how you feel. And doing that will help you defeat procrastination. You can't control the way you feel about something, but you can alleviate some of the negative emotions associated with a task. And the way you do that is being as concise as possible with exactly what you have to do. Okay, let's just say you need to start writing your personal statement. If you're in year 13, you need to start writing your personal statement for university. My recommendation is to try and break down the task into as many sub-problems as possible and focus on each sub-problem individually. And know like what you have to do once you finish this. By making it concrete, right, and specific, like exactly what you have to do, it will alleviate some of the negative emotions associated with the task, because it will make it a lot easier to do, because you only have to do this one individual task. It may not alleviate it completely, it will definitely help you get started and to keep going. Even if you have loads to do, if you just split it up and focus on each individual task, bro, you'll feel less stressed and you'll get so much more done, and you'll get it done quicker as well, because you'll know exactly what you need to do. So to summarize what I'm trying to say, right, doing work will always be harder than watching TikTok. No matter how much you break it down, it will always be like harder, right? But in the long run, doing work will be a lot more beneficial than watching TikTok for your future. So notice the emotions you feel before, during and after working. It's very important for you to be like emotionally aware of how you feel. Understand you can't get rid of the emotion completely, but what you can do is you can alleviate it by breaking the problem down into smaller sub-problems and working on each sub-problem individually. Make sure to have some sort of structure of each step that you're going to do and the step to do after that. Be as concise as possible. For example, if you've come home from school and you want to revise after school, say, okay, when I get home, I will eat. After I have eaten, I will open my laptop up and I will search up PMT and I will do a past paper. Even be as concise as like which past paper you're going to do. I will do the 2018 past paper of this specific subject. And then after I have finished it, I will mark it. Be as concise as possible with what you're going to do. The stress of like what revision should I do will disappear because you'll know exactly what you need to do. So if you've learned something from this video, like it. If you think these steps aren't going to work for you, try it. And if they didn't work for you, dislike the video, innit? But if you enjoyed the video, like, subscribe, and yeah, I hope you enjoyed the video, man.